Humanitarian aid workers like Gia Andrews in The Last Breath have a very distinct way of viewing the world. On the one hand, they've chosen this profession because they want to help others and they want to make the world a better place. So they're extremely idealistic and they have very specific opinions of how the world should be. At the same time, though, aid workers can sometimes become a little jaded. They've kind of been everywhere and they've seen everything. Disasters and poverty and starvation and wars. And they've learned by experience that people aren't always as honest and as compassionate as they should be. So when Gia returns home to care for her dying father, who's been released from prison for the murder of her stepmother 16 years ago, she brings this way of viewing the world home with her. She so desperately wants to believe in her father's innocence, that he didn't do this awful thing that everybody says that he did. But she just can't. The evidence against him is too strong and she's been disappointed by too many people in her past. But when she's approached by an Emory law professor who insists that her father is innocent, she kind of latches on to that with both hands and goes in search of the truth. Unfortunately, tragedies like the one that took the life of Gia's stepmother happen all the time. So finding inspiration for a story like The Last Breath can sometimes be as easy as turning on the news. But what I'm more interested in is how a tragedy affects the people left in its aftermath and how they come to terms with it. So in Gia's case, how does she cope with the protesters camped out on the front lawn and the death threats and all the people in town who love gossiping about her tragedy and turning it back into front page news? How does she reconnect with her siblings and rebuild relationships that she really hasn't had for the past 16 years? And how does what begins as a casual fling with Jake, the local bar and grill owner in town, evolve into something like love, and can it last? These are some of the issues that I loved exploring in The Last Breath and ultimately what the story is all about.